Have you ever felt like, your biggest goals are right there, but something inside just stops you? Like your own mind is the main thing getting in the way. You know what you want to do, but there's this internal static procrastination, fear, maybe just doubt that keeps you stuck. It feels like being trapped in a loop where your mind's your own worst enemy. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into some powerful source material based on Napoleon Hill's work, specifically about how to actually take control of that inner world. This isn't just feel-good advice, it's about strategy, how to literally organize and direct your thoughts so that success and fulfillment aren't just accidents, but things you actively build. So, our mission today is to unpack this guidance on taking thoughtful action, training your mind to spot and grab opportunities, and finding that path to your real purpose.
Exactly. And what's really compelling about this material is how practical it is. It lays out actionable strategies for, really, a complete mental transformation. It's almost like a user manual for your own mind, showing how successful people direct their focus and, crucially, how they overcome that feeling of being overwhelmed by their own thoughts. It all starts, according to the sources, with seeing beyond what's right in front of you. Andrew Carnegie had a term for this ability. He called it creative vision.
Creative vision. Okay, that sounds fundamental. So Carnegie saw this as the ability to, recognize opportunities and then actually do something about them.
Precisely. But spotting those hidden opportunities requires imagination. And the source material breaks imagination down into two kinds.
Two kinds. Okay, let's unpack that. What's the first?
The first is synthetic imagination. This is all about combining ideas or principles that already exist, maybe in new ways, to create something original. Think about it. Most innovation today builds on what came before, right? Synthetic imagination is that skill of looking at existing pieces and rearranging them into something novel.
Right, like putting Lego bricks together in a new configuration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the classic example given is Thomas Edison and the incandescent light bulb.
Ah, Edison. We tend to think of him as just pure, out-of-the-blue genius.
Well, yes and no. He was definitely brilliant, but the light bulb invention was a masterclass in synthetic imagination. He took existing principles, electrical energy, which was known, and the electric lamp concept, which existed but wasn't practical because the filament burned out super fast.
Okay.
And he combined them. His breakthrough was adding a third, known element, charcoal, into that mix. That specific combination allowed the filament to burn for hours, making the lamp practical.
So he wasn't creating energy from nothing, he was cleverly rearranging known things to solve a problem.
That's synthetic imagination. Then the second type is creative imagination.
Okay, how's that different?
This is when an idea seems to appear, almost out of thin air, something truly new. This is often what we associate with artists, maybe musicians, writers.
Aha.
Moment, yeah. The source mentions even Edison admitted some of his best ideas just came to him. The key thing was, he was ready to act on them when they did.
So, creative ideas might seem spontaneous, but you need to have done the groundwork to receive and act on them.
That seems to be the implication. You prepare the mental soil, so to speak. And the source gives us 5 specific principles, like levers we can pull, to stimulate both types of imagination.
5 levers. Good, let's go through them. These sound like the practical how-to. What's number 1?
Number 1, and this comes up again and again, is definiteness of purpose. Being absolutely crystal clear about what you're trying to achieve.
Clarity on the goal. Makes sense.
And Hill's quite direct about this.
Yeah.
Even the thought of financial reward can be a powerful stimulus.
Really? Money?
Yeah, because it provides a very clear, measurable target. It focuses the mind. When the why is strong and clear, even if it's financial, it can drive that inventive thinking needed for imagination.
Okay. What's the second lever?
The mastermind principle. This is about harnessing collective brain power. A group of people, all focused on the same definite purpose, maybe improving a product, finding a business solution.
That sounds powerful, but also maybe tricky. Getting a group to stay truly unified on one single purpose.
It is tricky, but the key is that shared, unwavering definiteness of purpose again. If everyone is genuinely aligned on the exact same goal, their combined perspectives and imagination can achieve far more than one person alone. It amplifies the creative process.
Got it. Lever number 3.
The going the extra mile principle. This one links passion directly to imagination.
So,
think of the example given. Anna, who's passionate about animal rescue. Her love for it isn't just a hobby, it constantly sparks her imagination. She's always thinking up new synthetic ways, new fundraising ideas, better adoption strategies, ways to scale efforts. That deep passion fuels continuous, practical invention.
So passion drives the search for solutions. Okay, number 4.
Fourth is the applied faith principle. This is about belief. Believing in your ability to reach the goal, believing in the process. Whatever your source of faith is, that strong belief can be a huge source of imaginative power.
Because it helps overcome doubt.
Exactly. It removes those mental barriers that tell you something is impossible. History is full of people who achieved incredible things, fueled by unwavering faith in their purpose.
And the final lever, number 5.
Organized individual endeavor principle. This is the methodical side, the systematic approach. Think back to Edison again. His painstaking step-by-step process to find the right filament wasn't just random tinkering. It was organized effort directing his imagination.
So it channels the imaginative energy productively.
Right. It ensures it doesn't just dissipate.
Okay, so we've got creative vision, fueled by these 5 principles for imagination. But even with great ideas, that everyday mental clutter, the noise, the distractions can kill momentum, right? How do we manage the thinking process itself?
That's the crucial next step. The source warns that if we don't actively manage our thoughts, our mind just becomes like a camera, passively recording everything: gossip, negativity, trivial stuff.
Just mental noise.
Mental noise that drowns out the important signals. So we have to consciously organize our thoughts.
How do we do that? Is there a framework?
Yes, it starts with understanding the 2 main ways we reason. First, there's inductive reasoning.
Inductive. Okay, what's that?
This is reasoning based on probabilities, observations, or assumptions about things we don't know for certain. The example given is simple. The sky looks dark and overcast. You inductively reason that it might rain, so you take an umbrella.
So it's based on evidence, but not absolute fact. It's an educated guess.
Precisely.
Yeah.
We're assessing risk based on patterns. Then there's deductive reasoning.
And deductive is?
Deductive reasoning is based purely on known facts. It doesn't allow for opinions or guesswork. The example is, if the definition of a bachelor is an unmarried man, known fact, and Peter is unmarried, known fact, then the conclusion, Peter is a bachelor, is deductive. It's logically certain.
Okay, that distinction seems really important, especially the part about opinions not being allowed in deductive reasoning.
It is. And this leads directly to a major warning in the source material about the danger of opinions.
Danger? How so?
Because opinions are often riddled with bias. They frequently lack a solid foundation in actual knowledge or facts. The advice is blunt. Only trust opinions when you know they are grounded in verified facts. Otherwise, they can be misleading, even harmful.
That makes so much sense, especially today with information overload. We need to be critical consumers of information.
Absolutely. And that requires active verification. We need to scrutinize the information and advice we receive.
Like the example of Brandon reading news from various sources. He doesn't just accept headlines.
Right. He digs deeper. He checks the authenticity of the outlets, looks for less biased reporting on the same events. He actively verifies. That constant checking isn't cynicism, it's mental hygiene. It keeps the mind sharp and focused on facts, not just noise.
Okay, so verification helps filter the input. But how do we build the habit of organized thinking itself?
Through controlled habits. This is key. Organized thinking isn't automatic. It's built intentionally through repetition and willpower.
Repetition and willpower. And that definiteness of purpose we talked about earlier plays a role here too.
A huge role. That clear purpose acts like the zoom lens for your mental camera. It helps you automatically focus on relevant information and filter out the distractions, the gossip, the trivial matters that don't serve your goal.
And the repetition part, how does that work in practice?
Well, it can be physical repetition. Take the example of Penelope starting her bakery. She had her definiteness of purpose, a clear list of tasks she needed to accomplish. Her controlled habit was tackling one specific task from that list every single day. That repetition built momentum and skill.
Building the work habit physically.
Yes, but mental repetition is just as crucial. Think affirmations.
Like self-talk.
Exactly. The source mentions the psychologist Émile Coué in his famous phrase, "Day by day, in every way, I am getting better and better." Repeating something like that isn't just wishful thinking. It's actively conditioning your mind.
Like Penelope did, affirming she was capable and patient when things got tough with the bakery.
Precisely. She combined the physical habit, daily task, with the mental habit, daily affirmation. That combination is incredibly powerful for staying motivated and focused, especially when you hit obstacles. It reinforces your belief in your definite purpose.
It feels like there's a connection here to the idea of like the law of attraction, putting out positive energy.
There's definitely a parallel mentioned. The idea that the energy you consistently put out through your thoughts and habits tends to attract similar energy back. By consciously cultivating positive, focused habits of thought, you're essentially tilting the scales towards positive outcomes. You're building momentum.
Okay, so we have creative vision to see opportunities, organized thought, and habits to manage our thinking. What's the final piece for really owning your mind?
The final pillar is controlled attention. This is described as incredibly powerful, almost like mental dynamite.
Mental dynamite. Why such a strong term?
Because it's the ability that allows you to concentrate all your mental and physical energy on a single objective, to the point where self-doubt is completely eliminated. It's intense focus.
Wow. Okay, how is that achieved? Is it just trying harder?
Not just trying harder, but integrating 5 specific factors that work together synergistically. The example used is Harold, who desperately needs rent money. It breaks down how these factors kick in.
Okay, let's walk through Harold's situation with these 5 factors. What's the first one?
Again, it starts with definiteness of purpose. Harold doesn't just hope for the money. He decides with certainty, I will get the money for rent. That decision immediately shifts his mindset, making him alert for solutions.
Right, it creates the initial drive. Factor 2.
Self-discipline. Harold has to control his emotions. Panic, fear, despair. These are natural, but he knows they'll paralyze him. He consciously disciplines himself to stay calm and focused on action, not fear.
Essential under pressure. First fact.
Controlled attention itself. This means he dedicates the vast majority of his mental energy and time only to finding ways to get the rent money. He's not scrolling social media, not worrying about other things. His attention is locked onto the goal.
Laser focus. Okay, 4th.
Auto-suggestion. This is where the mind starts generating ideas because of the intense focus. Harold starts brainstorming. Maybe he can fix Mrs. Gable's fence, tutor the kid next door in math, run errands. His focused mind starts suggesting possibilities, telling him there are ways.
So the focus actually sparks the ideas. And the 5th factor.
Willpower. This is the engine that drives action and persistence. Harold doesn't just brainstorm, he acts. He goes to the first neighbor, asks about odd jobs, gets rejected. Does he stop?
With willpower, no?
Exactly. He goes to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th neighbor, maybe he gets rejected again. But his willpower, fueled by his definite purpose and controlled attention, keeps him going until he finds a yes. It's that refusal to quit.
That combination: purpose, discipline, focus, idea generation, and persistence sounds like the exact formula behind so many inventions and achievements.
It really is. The source material constantly circles back to people like Edison. He attributed his success directly to these principles. He basically said you have to fixate on the purpose so completely that the word impossible just loses its meaning for you.
And Alexander Graham Bell, too. Persisting with the telephone despite failing countless times.
He wasn't focused on the failures. He was focused single-mindedly on the definite purpose of making it work. That controlled attention was everything.
Now, Andrew Carnegie had a specific take on this, linking controlled attention to specialization, right?
Yes. Carnegie believed that true controlled attention meant channeling all your mind's capabilities towards one specific purpose or field. His own massive success in the steel industry was his proof. He argued that focusing all attention on one area dramatically increases your odds of mastery and success. Specialize.
That makes sense for something like steel, maybe. But what about fields that seem inherently diverse, like, say, retail merchandising? How does specialization apply there?
Well, Carnegie would likely argue that even within broad fields, success comes from specialized focus. In retail, you might have one manager who is an expert, specializes in clothing trends and inventory, while another specializes in sporting goods. They aren't trying to be experts in everything.
So specialization within a role or industry, like in a company, the HR manager specializes in people, the CFO specializes in finance. They apply controlled attention to their domain.
Exactly. Specialization isn't necessarily about having a super narrow job title forever. It's about applying deep, controlled, expert attention to your chosen area of responsibility at that time.
Okay, but what about someone listening right now who feels, well, undecided? They haven't found that one area to specialize in yet. What's the advice then?
The guidance suggests that if you're in that searching phase, don't just drift. Use that time productively to hone crucial transferable skills. Things like communication, teamwork, self-discipline. These skills will serve you no matter where you eventually specialize.
That's practical. Build the foundation while you search.
Right. Look at the example of Claire. She finished a communications degree, realized her deeper purpose was actually helping people through medicine, and shifted to become a doctor. Was her communications degree wasted?
No, probably helped her communicate better with patients, right?
Exactly. It wasn't wasted time. It became a supporting skill for her major purpose once she found it. The key point is, changing your specialization isn't failure. The only waste is spending years knowing you want to do something else, but not making the shift to pursue your true purpose. Hashtag outro.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up, we've really covered a powerful framework here. It starts with creative vision using imagination, both synthetic and creative. Then comes organized thinking reasoning based on facts, building controlled habits through repetition and willpower, and finally, bringing it all together with controlled attention, that mental dynamite fueled by purpose, discipline, focus, autosuggestion, and persistence, often leading towards specialization. These aren't just abstract concepts, are they? They feel like real tools you can use to gain mastery over that internal conversation and start directing your focus effectively.
They absolutely are tools with practical strategies to move beyond just wishing and start doing. The blueprint is there to help you ignore the internal noise, the fear, the doubt, and actually plan systematically to achieve what you want. But maybe, before diving headfirst into the action plan, there's one final, deeper question the source material implicitly asks us to consider, building on that core idea of definiteness of purpose.
Ask yourself, beyond the immediate goals, beyond the career or the money, what is the real underlying purpose of your existence on this earth? Because the suggestion is, once you find and fully commit to that answer, your entire being, mind, body, soul, will align with an incredible power to achieve it. So the final thought is, find that purpose, and then trust in the power of your own focused, controlled mind to get you there.